Hey guys, Parker here, back with hopefully the finale. I think it's the finale. Welcome to the finale of the Great Ace 22. Okay, let's continue. A garden? Not just any garden, you understand. A garden at Buckingham Palace. What? You can't be Buckingham Palace. Oh my god. My voice is like already dying. Excuse me. Excuse me as I stumble upon my words. What's Buckingham Palace? This is odd. I never heard of it. Do you ever read the news, this Naruhodo? Mr. Sholmes, is Iris with you there? Well now, Iris is currently enjoying some tea with Her Majesty. Her Majesty? Not just Her Majesty, you understand? Her Majesty the Queen of the British Empire. What? Oh boy. Stoneheart, you're kind of in hot water right now. What on earth is all this about? Buckingham Palace is Her Majesty the Queen's residence in London, Mr. Naruhodo. Order in court. I demand immediate silence. Her Majesty the Queen, you can't be. I mean, no. This is some sort of unforgivable, distasteful trickery by a third-rate detective, that's all. Unforgivably distasteful trickery, what an apt description. A closed court session attended by elite members of the judiciary is a rare event. I presume that Her Majesty would be more than a little curious about the proceedings. So I decided to show her everything, from start to finish. Oh, you showed her? Oh my god, indeed. By dint of the Herlock Sholmes remote cinematograph. You meddling. This is some kind of nightmare. Just as I appear to be standing before you, regaling you with talk of my latest invention. No doubt you'd inferred that the reverse is also true. You don't mean Her Majesty has seen and heard every moment of the proceedings. I assume there will be no objection after all. Every trial in this country is conducted under auspices of Her Majesty, as you know. You. I confess, I am quite impatient to hear Her Majesty's opinion about the unforgivably distasteful trickery in which you've been engaged over the past 10 years. Wow, Sholmes just using Strongar's words against him. You activate my trap card, Mirror Force. Oh, so sorry to keep you all waiting, Vicky and I. Vicky, and I have so much to talk about. I'm guessing she's Queen Victoria. Iris, there you are. I guess they're in the Victorian era, as I assume by their fashion. In fact, I have a little message here for Her Majesty. A message? Well then, if everyone is sitting comfortably, I can't read today. Forthwith, and with immediate effect, all authority previously afforded to Miles Strongheart is hereby revoked forevermore. Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial by jury in the coming days. So, it seems that Her Majesty doesn't believe we need to fight fire with fire. Justice in this country need to be administered from the shadows at all. Miles Strongheart. The darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. After today, your brand of law and order has no future because no longer are you the Lord Chief of Justice. In the I'm so sorry, I can't read. In the eyes of the law and Her Majesty the Queen, you are nothing but a criminal. Breakdown time. Adjourn. Okay. Oh no! Oh shit. Oh damn, I thought I was gonna stab him, never mind. My chair is creaking, so I apologize if you heard that. It's a really old chair. I think it's like over... I think it's almost like 10 years old, this chair. I should get a new chair. I said that 2 years ago and I never got a new chair. Lord Cliff Van Zieks at the well in which he confessed to everything. When those words came out of Asogi's mouth, it deranged me completely. I knew I must do anything and everything in my power to contain the situation. But I couldn't find the damn document. I searched the cell, but it wasn't there. Which precipitated the jailbreak plot, I assume. What do you mean? He looks like a sad dog. The need to obtain that will is all-consuming. I was sure that if I facilitated Asogi's escape, he would emerge with the will somewhere in his person. But despite searching his limp body in the cemetery that night, it still eluded me. It never even crossed my mind that it was concealed in the sword's hilt. Alright, game over for you, Stoneheart. We can all go home now. What pains me now is that my brother left this world without a word to me. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks. In point of fact, I think perhaps that isn't the case. Sorry? How can that be? There's more to his last will and testament. What? As I confront the prospect of my demise, I feel bitter regard for my younger brother. Barak, you have always looked up to me, and now you follow my footsteps to become a prosecutor. It is my fervent wish that my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. I ask not for understanding, for none could understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness. Asogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I confess my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Cliff Van Zieks. Clint. Mao Strongheart. You colluded with Seishiro Jigoku in criminal plots so immense it spanned the oceans, and you cold-heartedly murdered all those who knew the truth about what happened 10 years ago. But why did you say about that now, a whole decade later? To ascend to the very peak. These last 10 years made me realize being the Lord Chief Justice was enough, short of becoming Your Majesty's Attorney General. I could have no real power to effect the changes needed in this country. And for that promotion, I needed to ensure no remnants of the past remained. I can't read. I can't even do voices anymore. How could you? I like everything to run smoothly in the exact manner that I prescribe, like a well-oiled machine. Maybe you have OCD. And I'll just step away. And for your ambition to succeed, did you even bother to count the number of brilliant people you had killed? Ah, Mr. Reaper, you're not forgetting something, such as you very much thought the usual prosecutor-like demeanor in the proceedings now. But the reality of the situation is that you are the defendant's trial. However, the presiding judge would appear to have fallen for the bench, as it were. Just bring an old judge. May I suggest, therefore, that we entrust the final adjudication to an old friend, my lord. Oh, long time no see! As a member of the judiciary, I've been following the proceedings from the gallery, and I must say, I shall never forget the extraordinary battle between good and evil that I witnessed here today. I'm just so glad the old judge is back. The darkness that has blighted justice in our land these past 10 years has at last been dispelled. thanks in no small part to the efforts of a bright young star from the east. Defense Counsel Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. On behalf of everyone here present in the Old Bailey, give him my heartfelt thanks. You're too kind, my lord. The first time facing court just under a year ago now, I had the faintest of intimations that a British justice so warped and twisted over its long history is finally to no change. This might just be the man to do it. What? But at the time, I should allow myself to acknowledge the possibility I could not overcome my hatred of Japanese after the circumstances of my brother's death. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me to apologize for countless discourtesies on my part. You are a liar of boundless talent. Oh, Lord Van Zieks. When I first arrived in Great Britain, I was literally nobody, certainly not a liar. The truth is, my fortunes have entirely been made by the miraculous people I've met. My best friend, Kazuma Sogi, who led me here to Britain in the first place. Ho ho ho, best friend. My loyal and ever-patient judicial assistant, Mrs. Sato, helped me study to become a liar. The brilliant Lord Van Zieks, who never failed to challenge his Nipponese rival. And not to mention, the exceptional master of logic and reasoning who showed me the true art of deduction, Mr. Sholmes. Saving the best for last is Naruhodo. What a relief. I am well aware that without all these people's help and support, I wouldn't be where I am today. The truth is the guiding light that always leads to happiness. I've lived by the principle for a long time now, but actually, it's not true. The truth can also cause great pain, sometimes even leave people on the brink of despair. And for that reason, there are those who feel the need to hide the truth, who do it instinctively even. But as soon as we allow our eyes to set on something other than the truth, the darkness takes hold. And from there it grows, until eventually it makes us blind to the guiding light of the truth altogether. So that's why it's my belief that we must all resolve never to avert our eyes from what is just and true. So that we can continue to walk the straight, narrow paths ahead. Well, I must excuse myself now. But before I go, Miss Naruhodo, let me compliment you on your grand opus. What? Without your beautifully composed case against Lord Star, Her Majesty would have been unable to act. Thanks to you and your fellows, the haunting undertones corrupting Britain's justice system have been silenced. Thank you very much. So, until our paths cross again somewhere. Wow, then. It would appear that this long trial has finally come to an end. My apologies for any anxiety caused, my lord. I'm quite sure we shall meet again here in the court before long, Prosecutor Baruch Van Zieks. In conclusion of these proceedings, I hereby declare the defendant Baruch Van Zieks not guilty! Woo! We did it! We did it! We did it! That is all. Court is adjourned. It really is all over. But did I sacrifice too much? Miss Naruhodo. I really must congratulate you. It was a truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you. Oh, thank you very much. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Mrs. Sato. Oh! Your kind words mean so much to me. It really was a very splendid show, that, Naruhodo. I feel like me and the judges' voices are kind of similar. Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict, But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing. Oh well, in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Van Ziek's smiling face, everything will seem much better. I don't know, Van Ziek has a resting bitch face though. Mrs. Otto, everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder. Oops, my mic kind of shook a little. Oh dear, I really shouldn't have presumed. Mrs. Naruhodo. Yes? Almost a year has been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. It's been almost a year since I last played Great Ace 21. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today. Well, it's quite remarkable. But I exposed the most unpalatable truths you could ever imagine in court today. You just can't taste it. I feel as though I robbed you of something you held so dear. What was it? He said. To fight those who don't know the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just a feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today. Oh, well, thank you. What magnanimous words! I'm quite sure that Kazuma-san would have a smile on his face at the very moment if you're here. Kazuma. Mrs. Otto? There's another face like thunder here. Oh my, and he really was here. Lord Van Zieks. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal. Congratulate me or curse me, you failed to bring down the raper. I owe you an apology. No, it is I who should apologize. Your father, Genshin. If I had been stronger, then perhaps I made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse. And I can offer no forgiveness. That said, I suppose you fought for justice and truth. For that at least, I can't withhold respect. Your words mean more to me than you would know. You could know, I will hold them dear. Kazuma-sama. I must say, just one thing that's still bothering me. What's that? The will that Lord Van Zieks wrote before his dual murder. Asogi's a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has a great, yeah. Oh yeah, the second wish. What's the second wish? What can the second of his final wishes have been? That your father agreed to honor, you mean? I think perhaps I might be able to shed some light on that. What? Father? It was 10 years ago, as you know, the day before his execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin. Oh boy, you're going to the past? Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? If you only agreed to say Shiro and I would gladly petition the government. We've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Yujin, I have a favor to ask you. Something of great importance. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done. I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once, in secret and tell you no one. You should find a lady at the Gentry and hiding there. A lady at the Gentry? She's not in a good way, and she's a child. The burst is imminent. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're her very only hope. By any chance. Is the child yours, Genshin? Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew as his dying wish. My goodness! I sort of meant that I would help, that I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. You're the only person I know that I could truly rely on. What'd you say? If something should happen to you? Tomorrow night you're going to be... You never know though, do you? What life will bring. Alright then. I forgot how to voice Mikotoba. I'm sorry. I'll just read it. Tell me the address. I'll head there once. Say Shira no. Not with him. Pardon? This is a favor I'm asking of you, and only you, Yujin. Right, I see. Very well then. That very night, I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I don't know. I found an old house. In the middle of nowhere it was. An old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds. Oh no! The poor woman is on the floor at the back of the dark room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further, but it was a torturous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child. Oh my god. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome new life into the world. But tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I cared to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was a precious little in it, but an old chopper trunk caught my eye. It had clearly been looked well after over the ears, made of top quality leather with fine stitching. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place. Oh my god, is that Clint's baby? And Clint's wife, oh my god. B for Baskerville. But Baskerville? You mean the woman was the wife of Lord Clint Van Seeks? That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense. Why on earth would Clint trust the child to my care in that case? Okay, a motorcycle just passed by very loudly. I was completely unaware they even had a daughter. I suppose he didn't really have any choice. What? Well, your brother said that he confessed everything to his wife, so she must have been beside herself with worry for a child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer. Ah. So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the Van Seeks family as much as possible. I don't believe it. I imagine that at his final hour, Lord Clint Van Seeks made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I could trust. I honor my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I summoned back to Japan, and without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me. Oh, how awful. I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend, Sholmes. I asked him if he would be a father to her. That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume? Yes, he took one look in my eyes and agreed to it on the spot. Mr. Sholmes, he has a heart of gold. Yeah, he's still my favorite character, Sholmes. Really, all can be said that he did for the child was to give her a name. Oh? When I come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name that I gave the little girl. Your wife's name, Professor Mikotoba in other words. The name of my mother. Ayame Mikotoba. Oh. That's right. Ayame. Or in English, Iris. Iris. I had no idea. Ding dong! Housekeeping! Food service? Mr. Hoda, what's wrong? This little thing just pinched me on the behind through my trouser pocket. Oh, my dear fellows, can you hear me? Mrs. Scholes, is that you? Ouch! Yes, yes, we can hear you. Oops, I just hit my mic. You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you. Mrs. Scholes, you're able to think it properly before we are simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was so genius. Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief's injustice would require such measures. Runo, Susie! Oh, Iris. Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty Queen Vicky said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews a more delicious tea than you do, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate, and Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too. What? I'm afraid I couldn't. The Reaper de Bailey, fostered by a 10-year-old girl, again. I mean, Iris's, fancy niece, now that I think about it. No, really? Oh, poo. But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude. Oh, how lovely. You promised now. I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then. Alright, Iris. Thank you all for your help earlier. Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon. Ouch! Ugh. One final pinch goodbye, was it? Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord Fancies, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. Alright, bye, anti-hero. Let's up this story. I believe you saved my life. Bye, anti-heroes! Wait, Lord Fancies. Yes. What are you intending to do now? Well, clearly, I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office. Oh no! I intend to publicize the full truth about the Professor case. Once that's done, the Fancies family will be ostracized completely from London society. Surely not. So as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital. Oh, I see. Don't be a fool. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper de Bailey? I beg your pardon. For the past 10 years, you've endured the pseudonium and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you finally be freed from that disrepute, your battle is just beginning, surely. I can't read today. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here, I tend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now, Yunosuke Naruhodo. Kazuma Sogi. It seems as though he's really matured suddenly. He's not the one who was matured, Miss Naruhodo. Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. We must. It was then that I came to an decision about my future. I'm home. Ah! About time you got here. You've been waiting ages, Odo. What are you doing with that clever piece of history? It's a party, ain't it? It's gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl across the street who could help you with that, I think. Right, I remember that. You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak. You really must hear this. Quite the most discerning thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail in Magatova. The world-famous great detective, regaling his partner in the tale of his adventure, a sight to behold. Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found a bat in his cabin. I will believe it, yes. I say, Megatoba, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is, Maybe because I was there to see it as well, Sholmes. What? You were? Then why did you say just say before? Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Megatoba, I'm finally back from the Bailey. Another moment too soon. Our feast prepared by Iris as Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a very long time. Ah, Bruno, there you are. Dinner's on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Time to fill me boots. Goodness, is that really true, Gina? Yep, I'm losing me, Copper's Copper, and going back to what I know best. It's diver's life for me. No, you're really leaving the police force, but why, Ginny? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh... And anyway, no matter how hard I try, the Reaper ain't never gonna accept the die return, is he? Well, people can change, you know. Ah, yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully have offered to relieve the ballot of this now defunct piece of evidence. Eh? It's the inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached. That watch is his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, I measured every second of the man's remarkable career. But now, it's stopped. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again. Yes, someone in an eagerly first detective spirit. It's gotta be me. There ain't no one else. Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss. Yes, Ginny, yes he was. Oh yeah, and I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? That I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man. Oh. Alright, then it's decided, I'll do it, and I swear. I'll find your dad and bring him in kicking and screaming. I'm not entirely sure that'll be appropriate. Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well, I think I'd like to forget that promise, Ginny. Eh? Iris? Well, obviously, I've always wondered who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I want to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out for so many people. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey. Oh, no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone. Well, anyway, I decided to give up on it because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Hurley? Hurley? Oh, this is such a wholesome scene. But every word, Iris. Thank you, Hurley. Thank you. I think, Megatoba. Yes, Holmes? I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh? For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together, and during that time, I were countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all, and I should never have experienced it. Were it not for you, you old softy, Holmes. But I must confess, it's weighed off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violent recital, what did you say? Oh well, the food would go cold, that's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley? Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris? Even amidst the most troubling cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, Returning in the evening to the suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, my home too, with my greatest family. This attic room's my home and office for almost a year now. I certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now, the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Naruhodo. Oh, Professor. Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Suzawa's room. Yes, Suzawa went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of. Ah, I see. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier. Oh? With Iris, I mean. When the subject of father came up. Lord Confan-Six. I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. It's what was the great Genshin after all. Lord Confan-Six's final wishes before he died, you mean? Yes. I have to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Suzawa back to Japan 6 months ago, for example. That's why? When I read Seki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. You stumbled across the crux of the terrible case, the dog's collar. Barter emblem! The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt. Baskerville. If we decided to investigate the insignia, sooner or later it had made the connection to the Van-Seeks. And to make matters worse, Suzawa knew the unpublished story as well. The story that I had written based on my notes from the time. Ah yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with a Baskerville family emblem around his neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you Suzawa might arrive at the truth, so I invented that story about having cause to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating. I see. Something I never understood is why Suzawa came across that manuscript in Japan though. You know, Iris is the Hound of Baskerville story, I mean. Shou sent it to me. That was before Suzawa left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Suzawa came across it, of course. Ah. It was the only case that I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that our young Iris pieced together so much of it from apology notes. Shou and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Shou for safekeeping. So we did all that stuff Iris finding out the truth about her father. That's right. Because Shou told me how astute you should become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion is somewhat shifted. Oh? I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth, and when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best. I think so too. Actually, Professor, I want to talk to you about something too. Judging from that expression, I say we come to a decision, have you? Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan. Are you quite sure? I am really only here as substitute for Kazuma, but he's here in Britain now as originally intended. Local student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think. I see. Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. But Kazuma, Suzawa-san, and Mr. Shou all gently pushed me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see this trial through. And at the end of it, I finally realized no one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself. The path's of a deep aside, right? Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, sounds like you've made quite a resolution there. I have. Very well done. I must say it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for return first thing tomorrow, but I imagine we'll depart for a few days. Not with the symposium having been cancelled now, such a shame. Never mind, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well done, I'll bid you a good night. Good night. So, Susano's just standing there menacingly. Susanoo-san. I just want to let you know I'm back. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry I did, yes. I couldn't help but... Oh, how much did you hear? Well... For the part about Iris' real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. So you made up your mind. You return to Japan and continue working in Stephen Cellar. Yes, I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you already gone out. Oh no, that's kind of right. I already knew that is what you decide, Naruhodo-san. You did? Sao-san? Yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. You'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant on his side. I'll do my very best. That no one ever was. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me, after all. She was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes, you're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite spent in court today, so if you ask me, anyone who thinks to be a substitute or a local student should be ashamed of themselves. Sato-san. Thank you. I can't believe the day's finally come. You're really leaving then, Runo? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going, but you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course, I promise. Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, felt like good times. Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it, having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to Professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris, you do that. Honk! Sato-san. I just... Whoops, okay.
Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke,
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor. I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karuma? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me, the demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san? The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
What? I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
No, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Ah! What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
Bruno! Your ship's about to leave!
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword. One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country. What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes! Would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes's face was alight with joy. The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So, I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection!
Until we meet again, Runo.
And oh my god. Like during the whole ending, I had this dumb smile on my face. I was just like, oh, the voice acting is final here. I've been thoroughly inundated to inquiries about my oops. I can't read everything, so let's just let's just enjoy this. So yeah, we have officially. I don't know why I keep on saying we. I just say we because like I don't know, like I feel like I'm with the main characters of the game, like instead of playing the game by myself, so I just say we. But yeah, like yeah, I finally finished the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Yeah, out of all the Ace Attorney games I played the Ace Attorney Trilogy, I played Apollo Justice, Spirit of Justice, and Dual Destinies. I even played the crossover with Professor Layton. I actually like that game. And then I played the first Miles Edgeworth game, Investigations 2. But I haven't played the sequel to that. I think that's the only Ace Attorney game I haven't played. Investigations 2, Miles Edgeworth, because it was only released in Japan, so that's the only game I haven't played. But yeah, officially as of now, I played all Ace Attorney games except for that Investigations 2 game. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, yeah, Ace Attorney will always be one of my favorite games I have played. And yeah, I think the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is like among my top 3 as of now. Yeah, I think number 1 will always be Trials and Tribulations. Second place goes to the Professor Layton crossover. And then, yeah, this Chronicle is like 3rd place. But yeah, we have gone through a lot. I apologize for like playing such a long series for Ace Attorney, but I felt like I just wanted to because I do love Ace Attorney as a series, so yeah, I'm actually kind of glad that I played through everything, that I didn't like discontinue it. I'm actually glad I finished it all. So yeah, I'm actually gonna take a break until June 24. That's the day Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes comes out. So yeah, I'll be taking a little break before then. But maybe I think I'll post some Grapple Fantasy videos too, but I will see. But we will see it. I will see in the future. Gregson! I just noticed Gregson! But yeah, thank you so much for watching the finale of the Ace Attorney 2 Chronicles. If any of y'all like watched through the whole series with me, then I congratulate you. Oh my god, so sick. Oh, the cats! Oh my god! Oh yeah, Ray. I don't know. I kind of ship Susanoo with Ray, and I ship Naruhodo with Kazuma, but that's just my opinion. It's the best. Bro, and he's so beaten up. Oh my god. I'm like really curious about Madame Tussauds though. Oh, there they are, the family. Oh. What kind of conversation is this with a mother and daughter? But then again, they're a unique family. But yeah, anyway, just like, yeah, I like the Great Ace Attorney 1. I think the first case of that game was my favorite. Then The second case of this game was when we thought Kazuma died, but he freaking didn't. They tricked us all. I gotta tell you, they actually tricked us and got us. We've been bamboozled. And the third case is when we defended an actual criminal. And then the fourth case of the first game was we defended Soseki-san. I didn't really like that trial that much. I think it was like really predictable. And there was an annoying couple there too, but I guess it was just like introduction to Ki. And then the fifth case of the first game, oh my god. Metal dispels! When I went to make the waxwork impression to kill in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even though I won the stand at the highest score in the land, I could never speak of it. I mean, you gave the key to Zeke's. For facial reproduction and visage, there's something weak to spells would not do. I don't know, she's my favorite character in this game, and then Sean's his favorite character in the previous game, but yeah, she takes second place easily. Oh man, I'm kind of sad we don't get to see Mana to spells anymore, but oh well. Yeah, and then the fifth case of the first game, that part was like really sad to me because of Mr. Windy Bank. When you knew it for a day and then he died the next day. It was just like so sad for him. And then for this game, I think the first case is still my favorite. With Rei and Susato working together. I think that was my favorite case in this game. And the second case was Soseki-san again, and that case was freaking wild. Like that gal, like trying to get revenge for her. I think that was a wild case with the poison and shit. And then the third case. What was the third case? Oh yeah, the third case? I don't know, it's like a close second favorite because Mana to Spells is like literally the star of that case. And then the fourth and fifth case, it's just the same case, but like it's like a duology. I'm sure we'll meet again in Karu, my friend. Until then, I leave Karuma in your care. Yep. Like, come on. Oh my god. And that scene with them, like, getting their swords out, Kazuma and Ryunosuke, that scene was so fierce. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, overall, I did enjoy The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I know it's a visual novel, and there's, like, not that much gameplay, but I did enjoy reading through it. I enjoyed practicing my amateur voice acting. I don't regret playing through this game. And yeah, thank you all for watching through all this. I don't even know why y'all would even watch my content, but yeah. Oh my god, of course, the cute picture. Aww. It's so cute. Okay, I think I just skipped through this. Yeah. I don't think we need to watch that. The Great Ace 32 Resolve. Finn. We finally ended the Chronicles. It was a long journey. I think this play, the whole 2 games took like almost 10 months. Oh my god, look at the fracture! Oh my god, I can't express my adoration and admirance and respect for this artist. Oh my god, such a good drawing. I thrive to be like this artist. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be taking a break until 3 holes Fire Emblem Warriors, but I will maybe upload some Grandpa Fantasy videos, but I'll see in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching the finale.